Hello, everyone. Um, I've been meaning to make sort of like a discussion, even if it's with myself, and anybody that listens to it is welcome to listen to it. And I say that because mainly I am of the belief that you can't transmit wisdom, you can only earn it. And telling something that sounds like wisdom to anybody else, they might take it, they have to interpret it, and they may not see it as something positive. They might not see it as anything important. It might change their lives, but it might not be exactly the thing that the person that said it meant it to be. But if you happen to hear this, then I hope it's something that will work. That you could listen to and be like, oh, that's good. So it's four things that I feel like elevate or at least improve your state of mind in any way. So it's four things, right? The first one is balance. Balance. It's like the one of the things that you see in nature always. You see that things in nature or life in this planet exist due to balance. If there's too much life and too much resources being taken away, then some of that life has to die in order for the balance to be reached again. At least that's how I see it. I feel as though with balance in life normally comes from routine, like things that you do in your day to day are pretty much a picture of how balanced your life is. If you have time for yourself in order to be able to deal with other things that are stressful, if you had like a good night's sleep, then you can deal with the day ahead. Like you won't be drowsy, you won't be not focused. If you were able to eat like a good meal, if you didn't eat too much, if you ate too much, then you feel lethargic. But if you ate too little, then you'll eventually get like maybe some hunger pains later on. But if you ate enough of what you would consider this is a good portion for me, then you'll feel satisfied and things will be okay. Or at least I'm not saying that things will be okay, just saying that at least you won't have those like after effects of feeling like, oh, I'm too full, or oh, I wish I had something else, and then I'll be thinking about eating something later. Um, just small things like that. I feel like balance in your mind is even more important. Being like knowing that there sometimes is pain, there sometimes is happiness, there's pretty much just a baseline of where you're at. Like for me right now, I'm at my baseline. There's nothing that's making me happy, like ultra happy. There's nothing that's making me sad. There's nothing right now, at least I don't want to say anything bad that might eventually get me into that situation, but I'm happy with what I have right now and I feel like I'm in balance in that way. Like I'm not worried about anything coming up. There's things sorry, there's things that I have to do, but I'll get to them and I'll be okay with doing that. And there's things that don't scare me, so pretty much like I feel like as though I'm in a balanced place. And if you're out of balance, well, that's not good because that's normally what alcoholics are, drug addicts could be, people that just like seek a lot of pleasure. And then there's also the out of balance of being in too much pain, that it's just unbearable or intolerable. So not finding that balance is finding balance is key. But how you find balance, unfortunately, there's it's something that everybody has to come up on their own. The other thing is what I would say is what was it? Consciousness or awareness. Like the way you can achieve that balance is to being aware of what it is that makes you feel. Like right now, I'm conscious and aware of where I am. I'm aware of this room. I'm aware that there's sunlight coming in. I'm aware that outside is a beautiful day. Um, I'm aware that I'm breathing good. because I have asthma and I have allergies, that my sinuses are open. That right now, like, there's nothing that I'm thinking about, anything upsetting that might have happened is already forgotten. Anything like that I'm looking like that would make me really happy to do, I'm not really looking forward to anything, so I'm okay. It's it's good to be aware. Like if you were ever angry at something, like it happens now that I'm married, I sometimes can get upset at my wife for something she said. Sometimes we might be sitting like on the table and I'll and like we might be like not saying a word, or just eating, and once I'm done, I'll pick up my phone and I'll take a look, and she'll say, "Oh, it's Facebook time." First, I don't use Facebook, so that in itself is that feels like, oh, that's a cheap shot. I don't use Facebook, but like she's implying that, oh, okay, so let's not talk. Let's just look at our phones. It's just something she says. It's something playful she says, but I take it like in the thing, like, oh, wife, why are you saying this? But when I'm conscious about it, like, why did it upset me? And why would I think this is something bad if she's just saying it out of like the, I don't know, just sort of like maybe this small sarcastic thing that she said, but it's not a big deal. And you sort of have to step away from yourself in order to think like, why am I reacting the way I am? Why am I upset over somebody cutting me off while I'm driving? I'm upset over somebody that's taking way too long in the cash register, or I'm happy because I saw something bad happening to someone, or like I'm ecstatic when I'm gonna go see a movie that I've been waiting to see. You sort of like, you can like look at yourself and be like, oh, okay, that makes me happy, that makes me mad, that makes me upset, and sort of like find sort of like what's your baseline, and then what sort of like derails that, what like makes you go like that, oh, good, bad, something like that. The other one is my favorite one, which is impermanence. Nothing lasts forever. No emotions that you have are meant to last. Like not like, even like right now I'm at my baseline. I know that in the future there might be a lot of pain. I know that in my future there might be a lot of happiness. I know that in my future there might be like some sort of anger, frustration, or some sort of like soothingness or tranquility. Like I know that things can come, and I know that nothing, even if it's anger, it won't last forever. Even if it's pain, it won't last forever. Even if it's like the death of a loved one, it'll eventually, you'll eventually have to get over it. It's a common thing in life. Things just end. And sort of like that idea alone should give you the awareness, at least the consciousness, that, oh, like, why am I upset for this for so long? Why am I worried about something that, like, it'll just be a blip in time, that it will just mean something at that very small moment. Once it's gone, it's gone. And you want to do well, and if you did not do well for that moment in time, then too bad, like, it's gone. It just left, and it will never happen again until maybe you try doing something similar again, and you can be like, okay, let's try it again, but not the same way that I did it before. And you just know that, like, all these moments eventually end. Like, it's all just it doesn't, nothing is that important. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like, there are things that are incredibly important, and I'm not saying that it's not, like, but to obsess and to go like insane about it, that's not important. It'll eventually end. And my last one is patience. Being patient with yourself. I'm not talking about the world. Like, I'm talking about patience with oneself. Being able to tell yourself, okay, like, Why did we, like, why are we so anxious about certain things? Why are we trying to do this so quickly? Why are we just trying to achieve certain things that are not really needed at the time? Like, knee-jerk reactions require patience. At least the patience to not follow that desire of being like, oh, once if somebody like calls me a name, then you should be just patient enough with yourself, being like, oh, that upset me, but is it really that important? I mean, I don't know this person, I don't really care who he is, so that shouldn't really matter what anyone says about me. And it's very difficult to do. Patience, I feel like it's one of the hardest things that anybody can have, because it takes a lot of practice, it takes a lot of awareness, it takes a lot of consciousness to be able to always say to yourself, like, to sort of soothe yourself and be like, don't you don't need to react this way. You don't need to be here at this moment. You don't need to feel this way. There's really something else that you could be feeling. Although, as much as it's almost necessary for us to, like, we're emotional beings and we're built on instinct in order to help us run away from certain predators or certain really bad situations. So you can't really just sit down and be like, oh, well, just think about it. Something like that. Like, if somebody pulls out a gun on you, you won't be like, huh, why am I feeling afraid? No, if it's a gun, if it's a gun, then you immediately see that and you just, oh, no, I'm gonna run away. But there's certain destructive behaviors, like, just like, I failed the test and I was so angry at myself, and I just wanted to start like hitting the wall and being angry. But I was like, no, I don't think there's any need to do this. No need to react this way. Let's actually try to remember all the questions that I just went through and retake the test at a later date. But let me write anything that I remember from this test down. Because I was able to step back from myself and be like, okay, I know I'm angry. And during the time that I was writing those questions, I just like kept telling myself, I'm such an idiot. I'm such a fucking idiot. Why did I do it? And why couldn't I do it better? And I feel as though if you learn patience with you, then of course it emanates to everything else. Oh, that's what I had.